I make this all the time when I'm really just stumped as to what to make for dinner, but I have a bunch of veggies left over in my fridge that I want to use up. I know the presentation here looks really nice, but don't be fooled. Bibimbap is such a casual, humble, and lazy girl meal. Doesn't matter what you add to it, every single time it just comes out so delicious. So let me show you how to make it. We're going to start by making a very simple bulgogi. I have about a pound of thinly sliced ribeye. To that, we're going to add about a tablespoon of minced garlic, as well as some brown sugar and soy sauce, sesame oil and rice wine vinegar, a little bit of honey. Traditionally, we would also grate in an apple or Korean pear. My little hack is to use my kids' applesauce pack. I love this little trick because it eliminates the need for a blender. Traditionally, to make bulgogi marinade, you would have to add the onions and garlic and pear to a blender, blend them up, and then pour them over the meat. This method just uses one bowl, which means less dishes to wash at the end. As you can see, I also thinly sliced some onion and green onion, and I'm going to add that together with the meat. While this is marinating, we're going to go ahead and prepare the rest of our toppings. The great thing about bibimbap is that it's very easily customizable. You can add whatever vegetable toppings you'd like. Feel free to use a mandolin to thinly slice your carrots. And I love to add cremini mushrooms because they add so much umami and they give it a really lovely meaty texture. So for my vegetable toppings, I like to just season with a little bit of garlic, sesame oil, and salt. It just takes a few minutes for those carrots to soften. And for our mushrooms, we're gonna cook them down in a dry pan until they are darkened and softened. We don't wanna add oil because it will just soak up all that oil. Instead, we just dry saute them in the pan, and when they're ready, I like to add a little bit of soy sauce and sugar to create this really beautiful soy glaze. Now for our spinach. Traditionally, you would use whole leaf spinach and you would blanch it. I'm just doing a little shortcut here by using frozen baby spinach that I always have in my freezer. Same way that I seasoned my carrots, a little bit of garlic, sesame oil, and salt. It only takes a minute for that spinach to cook down. And now finally, we can cook up our bulgogi. As you can see, I start off each topping with a clean pan, and I don't bother to wash it. I just take a damp paper towel and wipe it in between each cook. I also cooked up some eggs because we're going to use that to top our bibimbap. I also added a little bit of kimchi for a nice tang and crunch. Drizzle with a little more sesame oil and sesame seeds. And I like to use store-bought chogochujang sauce because there's a lot going on here. But if you want to make your own chogochujang sauce, I have a recipe for it on my website, and I'll link it below in the description as well. And don't worry if you didn't catch all the measurements for the other components because everything is on my website, and I will link the whole recipe as well for you guys. So PB means mixed and pop means rice, so you gotta mix everything up, make sure that everything gets blended, all those flavors and textures come together, and it is just so delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe.
It's so good.
Let me know in the comments if you try it.